So here we are, it's July 2025, and millions of South Africans have just one big question on their minds. When exactly will I receive my SRD R370 payment this month? Whether you rely on it fully or it simply helps you cover essential costs like food, electricity, or transport, this monthly payout from SHA isn't just money, it's stability, it's dignity, and it's one of the last remaining support systems available for many struggling households today. The reality is that the SRD Grant, now increased to R370, is being watched more closely than ever before. With unemployment still dangerously high and food inflation making it harder to stretch every rand, people are counting on this assistance more than ever. But here's the problem. Not everyone knows exactly when they'll be paid or even if they're still eligible this month. Each cycle brings confusion, long queues at pay points, and hours wasted refreshing the SASSA portal hoping for answers. This month, July 2025, is no different, except now we finally have confirmed payment dates directly from SHA, and they've revealed key information that could affect whether or not your payment actually lands in your account. Are you one of the approved applicants? Has your bank account been verified? Is your payment being delayed because of an internal check? In this video, we'll break down the official July 2025 payment schedule, how to check your individual payment status, what to do if you haven't received anything by your expected date, and which days will have the highest chances for payout. We'll also cover why some applicants are seeing delays this month, and what changes SHA has quietly introduced in their processing system. If you've ever felt unsure or frustrated trying to get straight answers about your SRD money, you're not alone. But today, we'll give you the full picture straight from the latest updates, so you know exactly what to expect this month. Let's get into it. So let's talk about what's actually going on behind the scenes with the SRD R370 grant this July 1st. If you've already checked your SASSA status recently, you might have noticed something strange. Maybe your status says pending, or it's approved, but no payment date is listed, or perhaps it says paid, but the money hasn't hit your account yet. This has become an all too familiar experience for millions of recipients across the country, and it's not just a technical hiccup, it's part of a larger issue tied to how SHA manages the verification process, the payment batch cycles, and their communication with banks and mobile money partners. Every month, when SASSA releases a grant, it does so in stages, but those stages are not always well communicated. People assume that once they're approved, the payment lands instantly, but that's not how it works. First, SASSA verifies banking details. That means they check whether the account you've provided matches your IHD, whether the bank accepts SHA transfers, and whether there are no blockages or restrictions like dormant accounts or frozen profiles. For many seniors, especially those using older bank accounts or switching to mobile wallets, this is where delays creep in. And because SHA doesn't always provide a reason for the delay, recipients are left in the dark. This month, in July 2025, the actual payment dates were released late, not unusual. But what's different this time is that SHA also issued an internal memo about verifying backlogs from June applicants who didn't receive their payments yet. That means July's cycle is partially being affected by leftover processing work from the previous month. If you're someone who is approved for June but still waiting for your R370, your payment might only be processed this month. In some cases, that also means your July payment might get bundled together with the previous month's, but in other cases, one month gets paid and the other stays in limbo. Confusing? Absolutely, but it's the current system. What's more, there's been an uptick in automatic declines, and not because applicants did anything wrong. This time, some people are getting declined due to income detected in their accounts that's above the R624 threshold. Now here's the problem with that. Some of these so-called income flags are triggered by someone sending money to help, like a relative transferring R700 for groceries. SASSA's system flags the account and assumes you're no longer eligible. The system doesn't ask where the money came from or what it's for. It just sees a number and makes a decision. That's not fair, and it's not transparent, but it's how the system is currently designed. Seniors in particular are vulnerable here. Many of them rely on occasional help from their children, neighbors, or community groups. A once-off R800 into an account can instantly disqualify someone from receiving the SRD grant the next month, even though that money is already spent. SASSA has said they're working on improving how income is assessed, but as of July 2025, those improvements haven't been implemented widely. So what can you do if you're declined for income reasons? You have the right to appeal, and you must do it within 30 days. That appeal goes through the Independent Tribunal for Social Assistance Appeals, and while they've been backlogged for months, they are processing cases faster than before. Still, there's no guarantee the outcome will be in your favor, even if you provide an explanation. Now, many seniors are asking, what if I'm approved? When exactly will the money come in? According to SASSA's July payment calendar, disbursements started in the second week of the month. The first major payout wave was scheduled between Monday, July 8th and Friday, July 12th, targeting beneficiaries whose banking details were already verified by the start of the month. If you haven't received anything during that period, you're either in the second batch expected between July 15th and 19th, or you're flagged for additional verification. The third and final payout window, especially for late approvals, is expected between July 22nd and 26th. The SASSA does not pay on weekends, so if your payday falls on a Saturday or Sunday, it will be rolled over to the following Monday. There's also something important about where your money goes. If you're still using the default Postbank virtual accounts or cash send options like ShopRite or Boxer till points, you might see a 1 or 2 day delay compared to people using bank accounts. That's because third-party partners have to first receive the money from SHA, then process it and make it available for withdrawal. If you've changed your payment method recently, there could be a freeze while your details are re-verified. That's why seniors are encouraged to stick with one verified bank account, ideally one with lower service fees, to avoid unnecessary hold-ups. You might also wonder if this R370 amount is going to change. After all, we saw it raised from R350 earlier this year. So is there another increase coming? The answer is, not yet, but it's being debated. The Department of Social Development and Treasury have both acknowledged that R370 is not enough to cover basic needs, especially for seniors, many of whom face rising medical expenses and food prices. However, they've also stated that any future increase will depend on budget adjustments in October 2025. So for now, R370 is the set amount, but there's a possibility, not a promise, of it increasing in early 2026, depending on the fiscal state and economic pressures. Now, let's talk about scams, because unfortunately, when money is involved, fraudsters come out in full force. SASSA has warned that this month alone, dozens of seniors were tricked by fake websites asking for their ID numbers, bank info, or OTP codes. These sites look like real SASSA portals, but are designed to steal your personal data. One major red flag is if the site promises to speed up your payment or double your SRD grant. SASSA never offers such services. The only official way to check your status or update details is through HTTPs, so that's SASSA.gov, say nowhere else. If you receive an SMS from an unknown number asking for your PIN or banking login, ignore it. Seniors are especially targeted because scammers assume they might not be as tech-savvy. So what if your payment didn't come on your expected date? First, check your SASSA status online or via WhatsApp. If it says approved but no date, you're still in the queue. If it says declined, you'll need to file an appeal. If it says paid, but the money isn't in your account, contact your bank first, not SASSA. Often the issue lies with the banking institution, especially if there are network delays or public holidays causing backlogs. Also worth mentioning is the importance of updating your information regularly. If your contact number changes, or you move to a new area, or your bank account closes, SHA needs to be informed immediately. Too many seniors miss their payments simply because a cell phone number expired or a SIM card was deactivated. Remember, SHA uses that number to send you payment notifications. If they can't reach you, they might suspend your payment until they can verify your status again. In the coming weeks, we'll be covering more updates, not just about SRD, but also pension changes, social grant increases, and other benefits seniors need to know about. If you found this information helpful, stay tuned. There's more coming, and as always, it's our job to break it down in plain English, so you know exactly what's happening without the government jargon, the confusing links, or the runaround, because you deserve to know the truth.